University of Florida stars, Tampa Bay natives, Bobby Finke and Andrew Taylor. Names to know, teammates with dreams of taking home medals at this summer's Olympics in Paris. Bobby and Andrew are joining us live to answer our questions and yours here on What's Hot in Paris on WFLA.com. Hello there to you folks in the Stream Center with three-time Olympic gold medalist, special guest analyst here on WFLA.com. Brooke Bennett back here with us for another live stream and a conversation that Brooke and I are very much looking forward to, because joining us live on the right side of your screen from the University of Florida, Gators, Bobby Finke and Andrew Taylor. Let's just hit the applause button. The fact that we got everybody on the Zoom, everything's working, and Bobby, Andrew, we are so excited to have you both. Brooke, this is a day we've circled on our calendars because we're getting really close to trials. We're getting really close to Paris.
It is. It's starting to get really excited, and the more interviews I get to do like this, and the more people ask me, am I excited? I am extremely excited, and actually extremely excited that Bobby and Andrew are here. In fact, when both of you guys confirmed back a couple weeks ago, it was later in the day, and I felt bad picking up my phone, but I had to text JB and let him know that we had breaking news for What's Hot in Paris, that you guys took time out of your training to join us this afternoon. So thank you.
Brooke, why don't we get right into it? I know that there are questions that are on the top of your mind and the top of mind of our viewers. Really quick heads up, as a reminder, we are live here on the WFLA Facebook page. So Brooke has a lot of questions for Bobby and Andrew, but we know that you do as well at home. You can comment right now on Facebook. I'll be keeping my eye over here, looking at the comment section, looking for questions for Bobby and Andrew. But in the meantime, Brooke, take it away.
Let's just start it off with, we're less than 2 weeks away until you guys are going to head up to Indianapolis for Olympic trials. Bobby, I mean, we said it in the newscast that you are kind of the Tampa's golden boy at this time. What has it been like this go around? I mean, it's a short quad. It's really only about 3 years. Just let us know kind of how training has been and how this go around is different than preparing for Tokyo.
Yeah, I mean, especially with training, this whole 3 years now, I mean, the Olympics kind of feel like they just happened, the Tokyo one. So the one thing I really noticed is that I really struggle a lot in practice. Like, I'm dying a bunch, and I'm sure Andrew could attest to that, especially in the beginning of the year. But in the lead up to Tokyo, I was amazing in practice. I don't know what was going on, but now, like, I'm just drowning a bunch, which makes the whole cycle different for me. And I think that kind of helps me keep engaged in the sport, just because, you know, I don't know what's going to happen every day in practice. Either going to hurt, either going to do really well, or, you know, I'll just maintain. But, you know, just having that kind of level of excitement in a different way kind of helps me engage within these next 2 weeks coming up to trials.
Andrew, for you, I mean, you're in a very different position than where you were this time 4 years ago. In fact, we have a picture when Bobby came home from Tokyo, when he came to Clearwater, and there's a picture of the two of you guys together. And now you're an Olympic trial qualifier, and you're training with Bobby up at the University of Florida. So just take us through, you know, where there's the picture. That's the hair that I remember.
That's what I was expecting on stream today,
right? But take us through just your changes and like kind of the full circle of like where you are now, almost 3 years later.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's been a lot of changes. Obviously, I moved to Gainesville and I started school, but the training aspect has been completely different. I mean, I was used to Coach Sue back home, you know, in the 6-lane short course pool, to now Coach Nesty, which they're similar, but the practices are way different. I mean, I don't think I ever went over 6,000 yards in a practice before, and now we've done plenty of 8.5s. So yeah, it's been a lot, but I'm just really excited for trials. I mean, I've never been, and I mean, Bobby's gonna be there with me. I've already been talking smack to him, you know, telling him I'm gonna beat him. So I mean, yeah, it's been really fun.
Is talking smack something that goes on a lot with you guys?
Oh yeah, A lot.
Him more than me. Yeah, yeah.
I love it, Andrew. The young guns coming up and pushing the old. We don't call you the old guy yet, Bobby. I mean, you're still
I'm
relatively young.
He's
but
old.
I'm like
He's
the old
old.
guy though. I'm like looking through the site sheet like 2 years. I was only 22 and I was the oldest guy in a mile. I'm like, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
You know, I used to have Dane Grothy who would be like 30 years old in the event and kind of take it. But you know, now I'm feeling like the old guy. I'm just hanging on.
You're the seasoned veteran, Bobby. You are.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your training and different. I know one of the things that you were doing leading into Tokyo, especially when we were in COVID and everything was shut down, you were doing some open water training because it was the only thing that you had to do. Have you incorporated that, or is that was just because you had to? Do you even like open water?
I mean, I don't even know if it's because we had to. We kind of just did it to do it, and it was fun at the end of the day, just because we swam like probably 2,000 to 3,000, and then afterwards we'd hang out in our buddy's pool and play like volleyball or something like that. So it was more just like a fun activity to do at the time. You know, that summer with trials and the Olympics eventually postponed, it kind of relieved a lot of stress off of a lot of people, just because, you know, I was like, okay, we can settle down, we can kind of relax a bit and you know, go through what we're going through right now and kind of just do what we do.
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, that was what we were doing. I don't do that anymore. I don't really know if I enjoy open water. I don't plan on doing it in the future. But yeah, it was just a fun thing to do at the time.
Andrew, now same thing goes for you, because we can pull out some pictures, which embarrass myself and you.
Which we will. I have it ready whenever Brooke calls for it.
Well, I'm gonna cue it up because we're kind of going to the open water. So Andrew, you have dabbled in open water. You were doing some of the Swim Across America swims here locally in Clearwater, which raise money for cancer. So pool, open water. How do you think there it is right there?
Yeah. That's a good one.
That was easy 10, 11 years ago. So.
For those just who, again, take a moment. This is Brooke and Andrew. In what year do you think?
This would have been spring of 2014.
Wow. So we're talking literally a decade ago.
On Clearwater, on Clearwater Beach, yes. So open water, do you do much of it now? Do you still like to kind of throw it in there? Because you're both distance swimmers. We'll get into those events. But what do you think open water swimming has done for your achievements and where you are now with these distance swims?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really do it too much anymore. I think the last race I did was like a Florida zone something it was a 5K. I told myself I would never go over a 5K, and I didn't. So, because the 5K was already too long for me. So. But yeah, I mean, I had fun when I did it. I mean, it was just like, it is a completely different sport. I mean, my favorite part is the start where you can, you know, elbow people and do all that other stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely helped. When I would come back from an open water race into the pool, like, it was like, whoa, like, there's no waves or anything. Like, I mean, yeah. So it definitely does help when you come back into the pool.
That's awesome. I love the open water, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. So I've left the pool and I love the open water, and I was the distance swimmer too, right? And now I really want to swim anything over a 5K. So it might come to you guys later. I get it. You don't like it now, but it may pop up. Let's talk about the events, guys. Bobby, we'll start with you. What are you going to be swimming at Olympic trials, which start on June 15th?
So I'll be starting off trials with the 4 free on, I believe, Saturday, and then 800 will be a couple days later on Tuesday, and then I don't know when the mile is, like at the end of the meet. It's a long meet, so it's somewhere at the end. But just some 3 classics, excluding the 4 AM this time, switching for 4 free. Yeah.
So you're the defending Olympic champion in the 800 and the 1500. Right. So do you feel going into trials that the target is on you of all those other likely young chumps? Can we use that word, Andrew? Do you feel like the target is on you and these young guns are coming after you now?
Yeah. I mean, I felt like I kind of always put a target not like other people putting a target on me, but like I kind of just like put a target on my own back of, feeling the pressure of making sure I keep qualifying for teams, especially after what happened in Tokyo. Especially after that year, the 2022 Worlds, at least I was putting in my own head that, a lot of these guys thought it was like a one-time deal, of me being there and winning. So that my whole set in 2022 Worlds was basically proven to the guys that, I'm still here to train and race you. And the same deal for last year. And, it's another Olympic year, and looking forward to it. It's definitely a position I never really thought I'd be in as the defending Olympic champion, but it's an experience I'm grateful to hopefully in trials be able to say.
It's interesting. Brooke is right on point, because we just had a question come in for you guys from Facebook, and it comes in from Patrick as we're talking about the events that Bobby and Andrew aim to compete in. Patrick wants to know, what is your favorite event to compete in? So I'd love to get both of your answers. Bobby, why don't we start with you?
My favorite event, it's changed a couple times. I really like doing two breast long course, but I think my favorite race to compete in is 4 a.m. long course. Yeah.
And why?
I mean, it's just fun. I don't know why I'm successful at it. I'm just, for some reason I am, and it's something I get to try out differently. It's short. It's only a 400, and one of my favorite competitors I love racing does it, and yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just a fun race to do.
Let's go to you, Andrew. Same question from Patrick. What's your favorite event to compete in?
Mine's never changed. It's always been the 50 free.
You guys are hilarious.
And I'm being 100% serious too. I mean, you can ask any coach I've ever had. I've always said, come on, please let me swim 50 free. Like, I mean, even now, even in being in college, I always know what group I'm going to be in. It's going to be distance, but I'll still say, come on, let me go with the sprint guys. And their answer is always the same as no. And I'm like, yeah, because you know what's going to happen if I go in there. I'll embarrass them. So, yeah.
I like the confidence. It's just the adrenaline.
It is. But, every distance swimmer wishes at one point in time that they could swim a 50. And I did the same thing. And my coach of my entire career, he would tell me he doesn't have the patience to watch me swim a 50, but yet he could watch me swim an 800 and a mile. But he's like, nobody wants to see you swim a 50 freestyle. So yeah, I mean, we all have that hope. Bobby, so the 400 is going to be added here for you. A little, and I think as distance athletes, we can say that that's our sprint. What has your training been like to gear you and get you ready to not lose what you need for the 800 and the mile, but to allow you to be in that fight for the 400 freestyle?
I mean, not much has really changed. I guess like the main thing is that I stopped doing a lot of IM work in practices. That's pretty much the only thing that's changed, is this I do more freestyle now. And yeah, I hope I don't lose anything from the 800 a mile, but I'm fairly confident that I'll still be able to, come home fast and have my fun with those races. It's just more so adding the 4 free to see what I can do.
Great. Andrew, and what events are you going to be competing in? And you can go ahead and let's just kind of throw 2 questions at you. So the events, but then this is your first Olympic trials. Has Bobby prepped you for what to experience, or is he just throwing stuff out you to probably just make you more nervous than what you really need to be?
They're giggling.
I know.
Brooke, so
there's something. There's something boiling over here. So go ahead. What are you going to be competing in at trials? Because we know it's not the 50 freestyle.
No, sadly not. But yeah, I'm doing the 800 and the 1500, just those 2. Okay. So yeah, I would say the only thing he's really like thrown at me to like kind of prepare me is he's like, well, you have to do it twice because the 800 is prelim final and the miles prelim final. But I mean, other than that, I mean, nothing really. I mean, I'm just excited to be there. So.
Okay, well then, has anybody prepared you for the experience of Olympic trials? Because Bobby can probably nod his head and agree, but I'll let you know this, Andrew, because if your teammates haven't let you, they're holding back. But let me be the one to tell you, the Olympic trials to me was 10 times more stressful than the actual Olympic Games because the competition is so tough. So if they haven't told you, I'm telling you now, how do you plan to prepare yourself for going into this?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just gonna do whatever I do whenever there's another new big meet that I've been to, like whether it was a Winter Juniors or now going into SECs or NC2As. I just always tell myself, you deserve to be here. You have a lane, you have a chance. I mean, and it's just another swim meet, like, because if I mentally for me, if I overthink anything or tell myself like, oh wow, the stage is bright, you know, it's in a football stadium or all this other stuff, you know, then I mean, you just get in your own head. So I just tell myself, just another swim meet.
Do either of you have any superstitions leading into that things have to be a certain way? Do you have a certain pump up song that you like to listen to? Bobby, what do you got? What do you need to do before every race?
Well, I don't know if I have really any superstitions. I don't listen to music, which is yeah, Andrew's shaking his head at me.
He doesn't even do it when he drives either.
Yeah, no, I'm nice in my head. I mean, the only thing I got with me is I bring some Lucky Duckies I got. Yeah, it's exactly how it sounds. It's just Lucky Duckies.
Lucky Duckies.
But yeah, if you ever see me with a bag walking out to race or whatever, I just got like a bunch of ducks in there, pretty much.
Like rubber duckies?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, bathtub rubber duckies. Yeah,
bathtub rubber duckies.
All right, I don't know why, but you know, every time I got them with me, I do well. So that's my superstition when it comes to that.
That is great.
Wait, well,
do you have a favorite? Do you have them close to you?
No, they're in my bathtub right now. But
they're in the bathtub where they should be.
Yeah. I mean,
because after this podcast, Bobby is going to take a bubble bath.
Yeah. My duckies are there. I got a really big one. I got a cowboy one. I got like a giraffe one.
Oh, so they're
Santa
themed. So you have different. They're not all the same.
Yeah,
you have different rubber duckies.
Yeah, you know, like the rubber ducky machine that you sometimes walk in at like a Walmart or something like. Yeah, it's just from there. So
if you walk past, you're saying you cannot walk past a machine that has rubber duckies in it without at least trying to win one.
No. So I stopped grabbing them. I haven't grabbed one since like my freshman year. That was the last time I got some. I think I only have like 8 total. Okay. 4 of them are from my girlfriend, and then 4 of them we got together at like one of those machines.
Okay.
Which
one is your favorite?
I don't know if I got a favorite. Really,
this is fascinating,
Bobby. This is cool, man. It's a no
sorry,
judgment
Andrew,
zone. You can tell us. You can tell us all the details.
I didn't even know about this. So.
I love it. The secret is out. So the rubber duckies.
I want to make sure that I have this right. For if I'm watching you approach the pool in Paris and you've got your game face on, you are ready to rock in the pool, and I see you carrying a bag. I know that in that bag you got those rubber ducks.
I got some rubber ducks. Yeah.
That's
I got a bunch of rubber duckies in there.
That is awesome. Andrew, what about you?
Well, Andrew, we apparently you like music, because when you said Bobby doesn't listen to music, you're just shaking your head in like disgust.
Yeah. He's a weirdo.
I'm with you. I'm the music one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had 4 songs that I listened to.
Yeah, we touched on them a little bit yesterday.
We did.
AC/DC and the A-Team opening theme song. What are the other two? really quickly?
Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle.
Great pop-up song.
Van Halen, Right Now.
There you go.
So that was my 4.
That's good choices. I would say I haven't really had any like superstitions or anything until like recently. SECs, I took a beetroot like kind of thing before I swam, and then I ended up doing good. So I take one of those now. It comes a little capsule or whatever.
Yeah.
Bobby doesn't believe in supplements, so don't let him laugh at you.
Beets push oxygen into your blood. It oxygenates your blood. There you go. Yeah, and it's got that real earthy taste to it.
Yeah. Just gotta do it. But
he doesn't like the taste, but he'll drink it to hope that it pumps him up. I like it.
Well,
I
have. No, I'm sorry, Andrew. Continue.
Oh, yeah. So I take one of those, and then I always listen to the same song before the mile, and it's called "It Is What It Is" by Lil Durk. So
It is what it
that's
is.
my
Little Dirk.
That's getting added to my
Yeah.
Spotify playlist
It
on the way
is
home.
what it is. I'm gonna jam to it on the way home.
Let's
It is what it
go.
is.
All right.
I like it. I like it. We have a question coming in from Facebook. Comes in from David here. Hey, Bobby, Andrew, what is your diet for swimming? I'm sure you guys get asked this question a bit, like what you're putting in your bodies, getting ready for trials and getting ready for Paris.
Yeah, you know,
Do you have any weird diet
I'm
things? Are you vegan? Or you don't eat this? Or
I'm a very healthy eater. I like to
That's
say.
not true.
Colin. Yeah, no, fact check. Real time fact check.
This guy loves fast food.
I have a ton of veggies and fruits. You know, I cut out the junk food, all that stuff. You know, if you're trying to, yeah.
you cut
No,
the junk food
I
out for
don't-
like 10 days leading up to trials. Is that
Yeah.
how it is, Andrew?
Maybe for him. I mean, I don't know, because
What did you both eat? Because so you're practicing right now from 10 to noon, right? Leading up into trials.
Mm-hmm.
So Bobby and Andrew, what did you eat? What was your meal after practice today?
Oh, that's a bad question.
Yeah.
I had a double cheeseburger.
Be honest.
I did not eat good after practice. I still gotta eat some more. I had you know those like Hershey nugget things from Target or Publix or whatever. I had a bag of those, and then I had a box of Pringles. And yeah, that was my after. That's not my normal after practice meal. All right, we just have something nice.
But that is typical. I will say this to our listeners and people watching that is typical of a swimmer. Like, yeah, we can eat healthy, but then all of a sudden it's like,
yeah,
I just ate a bag of Oreos.
Yeah.
Bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole bag.
A whole bag.
Not like a sleeve in the bag. You're talking just go through the whole thing.
I've been to the point where it's like I started on the second portion of it, and you're like, I'm this far in, I might as well finish it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says family size, family's me. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
All right, Andrew, what did you have after practice?
I had a double cheeseburger from the dining hall. So
From the
yeah,
dining
it
hall?
was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Man, I love it. I wanna bring up really quickly that for those of you who were on stream with us yesterday, watching from home, we were live with Emma Wyatt, Olympic silver medalist and teammate, of course, of Bobby and Andrew, up at Gainesville, up at the University of Florida, and I just want to play a little clip because we talked about Andrew and Bobby. Let's take a listen.
Is there anything that you would want to tell us about either one of them that maybe they wouldn't say?
I like where Brooke's going with this.
But be careful, Emma, because I'm going to ask them the same question tomorrow. So if they're watching.
I grew up swimming with Andrew a little bit too. He was from Tampa, Clearwater, and Sarasota.
Yep.
We were always at meets together, and same with Bobby. But I mean, Andrew really had like a standout year this year. I think maybe people didn't expect that from him, but you know, he's training with Bobby every day, who's probably the best distance swimmer we have, and the best distance group is here. You should ask them who the best kicker on the team is, though.
Ooh, that's a good question. I need to make that in my notes. So, fellas, who is the best kicker? Who is the best kicker in the group? What do you think she
I would
said?
say me. Herself.
Yeah. Apparently, the lady's got some kick to her because she says she's the best kicker. Would you agree or disagree?
I mean, if you do my slow kicking, then yeah, but
you were holding back. Well, we'll use this word because I want to throw this out to you, Bobby. After your accomplishments in Tokyo and watching you just annihilate the field, really in the last 50. And I'm sure you heard this, is anytime somebody came from behind and beat you, you said you got finked. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
you got finked.
yeah.
So is that what you do to Emma in the kick sets there at UF?
I mean, I forgot who coined that phrase. But Emma's a very fast kicker. I will say that she's really good at freestyle kick, which is, I hate freestyle kick. It's my worst kick other than breaststroke. So I mean, out of the 3 kicks, it's terrible. But sometimes I'll try to have fun, and then I'll do freestyle kick for the first couple reps, and then I'll switch to my fast kick, which is butterfly, and then I'll beat her on that one. So yeah, I guess you can say that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I was going to ask you guys the same question. So is there anything you would want to share with us about Emma, your teammate? Andrew, you want to go first on that one?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like she's just like a really hard worker. And I noticed that ever since I first got here. I mean, I think in the first week I started calling her Big Dog. And I didn't even really know her yet. Whenever she would be in the lane, I'm like, oh, Big Dog's lane. So, I mean, yeah, that's what I've noticed from her.
So you guys have, and we talked about this yesterday with Emma. I mean, Anthony Nesty, the head coach there at UF, has put together not only a great college team, which you were a part of, Bobby, and Andrew, you're a part of now, but the level of and the talent of the pros there that you guys swim with, including Bobby and Caleb Dressel and Katie Ledecky. What is that like for you guys? Kind of being put up on that pedestal as being one of the best pro groups ever. But how do you feed off of each other? Because we all know there's good days and there's bad days. Bobby, you were saying like you feel like you're drowning. How do you guys feed off of the level of talent that you guys have up in Gainesville?
I mean, we just have fun, We all, even like the whole college group, we all have a pretty similar goal in mind, and it's to be the best we can, whether it's on like a SEC, NCAA level, Olympic trial level, or world level. We all have that common goal, and we're all always pushing each other, whether we're trash talking each other or just racing each other in practice. It just makes the whole swimming portion it's fun because there's definitely some sucky days in there, especially as I'm finding out as I get older. There's a lot more sucky days now. My body needs more time to recover, and just having a group like Caleb and Katie and Kieran and Yusuf Nat on the team, just going through it with you, it kind of you all have a very similar pattern of what you're doing and what needs to be done.
And Andrew, you're the newcomer because you just finished up your freshman year there. So you're the newcomer to this group, but you're swimming with them. What is that like? And especially with Katie Ledecky, who is the GOAT of distance swimming. Have you just put yourself in there? Have they heckled you? Have they given you a hard time? What has that been like for you?
Yeah, I mean it's just insane because you grow up, club swimming, you look at all these guys and it's like, whoa, like, these are the best of the best. But as soon as you get there, I mean, you realize quickly that they are just normal people and they have the same exact goals as you. And I mean, to get to know them on like a one-on-one level is just like awesome. And I would say like trash talk wise, I like to talk to Bobby and Katie a lot during practice. I definitely like to get Bobby going. I'll tell him I'm gonna beat him on something, and then he'll just go from drop 10 seconds. So things like that. But yeah.
What kind of things are you saying to Katie to really get under her skin and be like, who is this young kid talking to me like this? Like, dude, you need to respect.
Bobby made us promise that we would ask about the Katie Ledecky story.
Something.
You gotta say exactly what you said.
Oh goodness.
I don't know if I could say it, but no. Usually, I'll just tell her I'm gonna whoop on her or something like that. And that's an everyday occurrence. But yeah, I mean,
how many times have you beaten her in practice, Andrew?
I mean, I stopped keeping track because it was looking too even, like too even. It was too. It was too even. Like,
where's that tally board at?
But yeah, I mean, like I would say I would swim next to her the most out of anybody, or swim with her the most, like in our lane. Like we're always sharing a lane, or yeah, like we'll always be next to each other. And I would say that's one of the closest people since I've gotten here, like that I've like been able to like get to know on a one-on-one level. So it's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. That's great to hear how you guys come together. Let's talk about Anthony Nesty a little bit, the Olympian himself from the 1980 Olympics in the 100-meter butterfly. Now leading you guys. Andrew, you gave us a great quote that Nesty has shared with you guys. I love it. So share it with our audience, and then both of you just give me a tidbit from him and what kind of coach he is to keep you motivated day in and day out.
Yeah, so how the quote happened was the one day we were doing I think it was 50s or something, and I wanted to went fourth in the lane, and he's standing there and he goes, Andrew, I like to talk like him. Whenever he says something, he goes, Andrew, I'm tired of seeing you going last. And then I was like, and then I end up going first. So I do 250s, and by the time we get back to the wall, he goes, you're the SEC champ, aren't you? I go, yes, sir. And he goes, champs go first, chumps go last. And then, yeah.
I like it.
If that's an impression, I would imagine that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Bobby, do you want to grade it? How good of an impression was that?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that was a 9 out of 10 right there. Yeah, that was a good one.
Bobby, and for you, I mean, we've talked just the challenges from, going into Tokyo and now, and just how you feel. So what kind of words of wisdom or anything or getting on to you and not taking it easy on you? How has he been as a coach for you?
I mean, Nesty recruited my oldest sister, Autumn.
Yep.
Back in, 2013 or 2014. So I've kind of known him for over 10 years now. It's been around that time frame. He's pretty much like another dad to me. So to be able to train under him, with him, understand the experience that he has in his work, because, as he said, he has an Olympic gold medal himself. He's been to 2 Olympics, I believe, 88, 92. And he's been a head coach of multiple national teams over at Worlds and the Olympics, and now he's the head coach at the Olympics this year.
Yeah.
To have someone in that corner, someone you can trust to bring you through the process, has really helped me throughout these 6 years now of my career at University of Florida. So yeah, I'm just very fortunate to have him.
Well, let's one question for each of you, because we thank you so much for your time and we want to respect it. You talked, Bobby, you talked about both your sisters being swimmers, swimming at D1 schools. Andrew, I know the support from your mom. I mean, I've seen you kind of grow up as well. What is that family support like for you guys, especially during this time where, as athletes, I say all the time, how do you handle it? You put the blinders on and you focus. What have your families been like for you through this dream, through these goals, and through this path that both of you guys are on? Go ahead, Bobby. We'll let you chime in. I know both of you are like waiting. You take it first.
I was like, oh, you got it. I mean, 2 older sisters I followed throughout the sport. I blame them for getting me into distance swimming.
Yeah.
So could have been a sprinter, but didn't work that way. But yeah, no, they really showed me the ropes of the sport growing up, and my parents were some of the most supportive people I know. The only thing they ever wanted was for us to have fun and try our best. It never really mattered what the scoreboard or what team we were on at the end of the day. It was always, as long as you've done your best, that's really all you can ask for. And that's kind of like one of the main things I always take with me when I go into a big meet, is just, as long as you tried your best at the end of the day, you can't really do anything about it. So kind of just learning that and relying on them for all the amazing support and wishes they gave me, it makes the process a lot easier.
Great. Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, my family has been so supportive throughout my whole swimming career. And it's like all 3 of them, my mom, dad, and grandma, they're at almost every single meet, every big meet. If my grandma can't make it, she's watching every live stream. She films every race. But yeah, I think the coolest moment so far, like, of what I got out of college was when I ended up winning SECs, and they pan to my mom in the stands, and she's just crying. And I'm just like, oh, that was, that just shows how much she loves me. So, yeah.
That's awesome, guys.
Guys, I want to hop in here too with just a couple of fun questions I want to end out the stream with. Andrew, I know a gaming chair when I see one, so I think you got one there behind you there.
Yeah.
So are you guys, is that something you guys do in your off time? You guys gaming a bit back and forth?
Man.
Of course.
What are some of the things you guys do, and who's better? Come on, give me some details.
I would say we've only played like with a couple of times together, video game wise, because we only have like one similar game, and it's called Phasmophobia. It's like a ghost hunting game.
He's terrified.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty scary when I played it, so I haven't played it in a while. But yeah. But yeah.
Nightmares from the video game. All right.
Yeah, it was.
And then I have to ask this question because you guys are talking you guys are having fun with Emma. You guys are talking about being competitive with Katie also. I'm curious. I'm just trying to, I'm the non-swimmer here on screen. If the two of you were to get in the pool with Brooke in the peak of her career, 1996, 2000, Brooke Bennett, that chapter of her career, what would it look like between the three of you? Brooke, you think you got more gold medals than Bobby does now? I mean, I'm just you got to call balls and strikes here, right?
I do. But I am hoping that we can get Bobby back on here, in a couple of months, and there's a different number next to his title, and I will gladly accept that maybe I'm not have the most gold medals in the Tampa Bay area anymore. So. Back in the day, well, let's see. My fast, they're crushing it though. Times are so much faster now. I just like looking at the Olympics and go, oh, I could still make top 8. Like an 8:19 from 2000 still is like a top 8 qualifying time at the Olympic Games. So Andrew and I few years ago, you joined our masters group and did 100 100s. And I think you probably did like 120 in the time that we did our 100. And we like to take a break.
I forget what they were on. But.
We like, they're like slow, like 130,
Yeah.
And Andrew's over there crushing like 57s. And we're like, we're masters, Andrew. We're taking a break at every 10. And we have snacks on the side of the pool. Like, that's what you guys have to look forward to as master swimming, right? Nobody's telling you to get there. You can do it 2000 one day, and if you want to get out and eat snacks and cookies, you can go and do it.
My club coach Fred, he used to give us bacon sometimes during the middle of our set. Just cooking it on the side of the pool, and it was like, "Hey, you want a piece?" And I'm like, "All right, sure, yeah, I'll take one."
Why bacon?
He was just cooking it. Yeah, it's an easy. He always has like a George Foreman grill or not, and he's always just. He'll send you for a rep and then like press it down and walk with you and then like come back, check it, and then like, flip it or whatever it needs to do. But yeah.
And if you know Fred, I mean, Fred has been, I think since North Shore Pool was built, Fred has been the head coach over at Spa. So any of us that know Fred to say that he was cooking bacon on the pool deck, I'm not a bit surprised.
Yeah.
He's a character for sure.
No, I'm just, like I said, you guys saw the pictures of Andrew and I. I remember meeting Bobby on the pool deck. It was towards the end of my career. Your sisters were, Bobby, I think you were 5. And
I was following my sisters.
Your mom pointed to you and pointed over and was like, "Oh, this is our son Bobby, and he doesn't even like to swim." And I don't know. At that time, I think I asked you what you wanted to do, and you were like, "I'd surf." So it's just, I just glad that I'm in this chair and I can, the talent pool here in the Tampa Bay area, you guys are keeping that strong. So I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. And Andrew, we'll end on this photo of you. I think this is, cool photo, man.
Yeah.
It's game face right there. Yeah.
Guys, we really appreciate your time, and I'm just gonna hit the applause button for everybody that asked questions, our entire live audience, and you guys, especially Brooke and I, and really the entire Tampa Bay area. Man, we are cheering you guys on. Any final things you guys want to point out before we let you go? Anything that you guys want to point out that we haven't touched on already?
I whooped this guy a lot in practice. Just want to end on that. And thank you guys for having us on. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Andrew, you go up and chase him down. Remember, you're the young
of
gun
course.
here. He's got aches and pains already. So
I keep telling him I'm going to put him in retirement at trials. So
that's what's gonna make you guys. Oh man, that's harsh.
Fighting words.
That's gonna make you guys
Yeah.
good. So we will be cheering on. We will be following you. Good luck. And we'd love to touch base with you after it's all said and done. But go out there and make Tampa Bay proud.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. We really appreciate Bobby and Andrew and special guest analyst Brooke Bennett joining us here in the Stream Center. You can follow Bobby and Andrew's journeys right here on WFLA.com. We are 61 days away from Paris. And boys, we wish you both the best at trials next month in Indianapolis. For all of our coverage of the Olympics, you can find it right now on WFLA.com. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, everybody.
Bye.